happened to
Le'Veon Bell, he sat out 2018, but he'll have plenty of teams calling. He's averaged 129 scrimmage yards per game, the highest mark in NFL history. And Ndamukong Suh, here we go again. After signing a one-year deal with the Rams last offseason, the five-time Pro Bowl selection has made 115 straight starts, the longest active streak among defensive tackles. Golden Tate was traded to Philly from the Lions on deadline day. It's the final year of his deal. He's produced the second most yards after catch in the league since entering the NFL in 2010. An interesting name to watch, Earl Thomas, whose 2018 campaign was cut short due to a broken leg. His 28 picks since joining the league in 2010, the third most in the NFL, behind Richard Sherman and Reggie Nelson. And after he was shipped from Buffalo to Cleveland last year, Tyrod Taylor will be looking for a new home and potentially a place to start. He's had the second most rushing yards on scrambles since the start of 2015. And some other notable free agents after 2018, a lot of defensive guys, including a trio of franchise tags from last offseason, Ziggy Ansah, LaMarcus Joyner, and DeMarcus Lawrence. Quarterback Teddy Bridgewater will be a free agent, could be looked at by some teams who need a quarterback, and we know there are plenty who do. And Phil, for some guys who are playing this weekend, they'll have some interesting off seasons. This will be their last chance, or could be anyway, to showcase what they can do. Let's look at some of these guys and where they may end up.
You just mentioned them, so let's start first here with Ndamukong Suh, signed a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Rams. Listen, he has made as much money as you could possibly make at this position at this juncture of his career. So the question for Suh is, do you go out there and continue to find the place that gives you the best chance to win a Super Bowl, which is why I think he might be one of the rare players who's comfortable going 1 year by 1 year packs. I wonder if the Chiefs are going to have to spend aggressively during this window when Patrick Mahomes is on a rookie deal. Might make some sense. They need lots of reparation to that defense.
Yeah, I think when you look at Suh, what's interesting, he's 32 years old, and so players like that, I don't know that you're talking about a year-to-year thing. Players like that, I think it's harder for them to get a bigger long-term deal. He has still been productive, has 4.5 sacks this year. Obviously, playing alongside Aaron Donald can help with that. And so, that's the other thing with him. You mentioned he's made a lot of money. Also, he kind of talked a lot about wanting to be in L.A. What his motivations are might be unique, in terms of the league and what most guys are looking for.
If we were to just have every player that's scheduled to be a free agent not have the franchise tag available, the best player in the open market would be DeMarcus Lawrence of the Dallas Cowboys. He's been an absolute play record for them over the past 2 seasons. And when he got franchised last year, it was prove it again to us this year. You know what he's done in 2018?
Prove it again.
Better than what he was in 2017, 25 sacks over the past 2 seasons. He's a force against the run. He'll be just 26 years old when free agency rolls around. Unfortunately for Lawrence, I think the conclusion here is inevitable. He's going to be franchise tagged again by the Cowboys, which, yes, that's about $20 million in the pocket of Lawrence, but he wants the big enchilada. He wants the Aaron Donald, the Khalil Mack type deal, $100 million plus, which maybe a year from now, if he continues to dominate, which he will, he'll be in line for that.
Yeah, either way, he's going to make a lot of money, and he should, because that's such an impact position, one that's really kind of gotten them to where they are now with that defense and their ability to run the ball. But you just look at Khalil Mack and the impact that guy can make to a defense. That's what DeMarcus Lawrence can do as an impact player on defense.
We already get to look ahead to that big clock. That big clock we put up.
The countdown.
The countdown clock. Don't we do that when free agency starts?
You do, yeah.
All right. So it's coming soon. Yep. Just you wait. Todd Gurley makes his return to the Rams this weekend. It will be the X factor, or will he be, I should say, against one of the league's best run defenses.
Keep up with your favorite team on the go with the NFL app. Get all your updates, scores, and live games during the season. Download the NFL app from your app store.
Running back Todd Gurley sidelined in weeks 16 and 17. That was due to a nagging knee injury, but he's expected back in time for the Rams on Saturday. Gurley led the NFL with a league best 21 touchdowns. And we'll go west now and say hello to our Rams reporter, Lindsey Theory. And Lindsey, the Rams had the luxury of watching the wild card round at home. They had the bye. How did they make use of the week off?
Hey, Wendy. Well, yeah, it was a much needed bye. The Rams held a couple of light practices, really just to kind of freshen up their legs, get them back under them, and continue that rehab for Todd Gurley. Now, he has been dealing, as you said, with inflammation and soreness in his left knee that kept him sidelined the final 2 weeks. Now, over the bye week, Gurley continued to rehab that knee, and Sean McVay told me that he even participated in a light jog through on Sunday, so that would have been his first action in a couple of weeks. Now, they do expect that Gurley will play Saturday, but he told me that he definitely wants to get in a couple of practices this week just to see how he's feeling before he has to play for the game. Now, even though Gurley is expected to play, the Rams do have a reliable backup in veteran C.J. Anderson, who they signed with just 2 weeks remaining in the regular season. Now, Anderson rushed for well over 100 yards against both the 49ers and Cardinals, proved that he was also very reliable in pass protection. So if Gurley needs a little bit of a lighter load, they can rely on that veteran backup. One more note going into Saturday's game against the Cowboys. Safety LaMarcus Joyner, who was out in Week 17 because of an ankle injury, also is expected to go. So Wendy, the Rams are back healthy just in time for their divisional round game.
Timing is everything, Lindsay. Thank you. And it certainly sounds like Todd Gurley will be good to go. The question, though, is about Jared Goff, and down the stretch, not quite the same as we saw earlier in the season. Does that concern you, the way he played in the final few weeks of the regular season?
I'm not concerned about it. It kind of was somewhat alarming to see how we played in a couple of those games. That being said, I think some of it had to do with Gurley was a little bit banged up. I don't think the interior of that offensive line played great during that stretch. But he was able to kind of, I think, whether he lost confidence or not, I don't know. But he was able to put together, a good game Week 16. And so because of that, I think that he's going to be going into this playoffs with some confidence. And I think that they'll have a good plan to get him easy completions and get him going.
Yeah, a little bit like you, Jimmy. I am a little bit concerned. And, getting C.J. Anderson in there I think's really helped. I had him in Denver. He's a good, solid player. Obviously getting Gurley back is going to be critical. But I still have flashes of that Bears game, and it concerns me, especially with the opponent this week being the Dallas Cowboys, which I think their front seven is comparable to Chicago.
Well, Tim's right, though. You got to think that a few short, easy completions to get this thing started would go a long way in settling him down and sort of getting him back in a rhythm. They don't do that.
And that run game. It's going to be
run. Quarterback's best friend. All right, it's Tuesday. See? On top of things on NFL Live. That means one thing. Coach, he loves to put it on. Now, you know that's not you. All right, it's Hat Tuesday. We'll tell you who we're all in on next.
You're watching NFL Live. NFL Live is presented by KFC's $3 Famous Bowl. Try it spicy.
SportsCenter at 6 o'clock Eastern after PTI with Sage and Keith. They'll get you ready for Duke's first true road game of the season. Plus, Reese Davis sits down with Dabo Sweeney and the unique voices of Andrew Luck and Patrick Mahomes. SportsCenter, 6 o'clock Eastern after PTI on ESPN and the ESPN app. It's Hat Tuesday, everyone.
I can't even get off my chair. I'm so excited. I guess we're putting helmets on.
Really
You know what?
big head and it never goes on.
This does not even feel right. I need to start on this thing.
I've had a lot to do with both of them.
Yeah, put the helmet on. I'm all in on those Denver Broncos. Baby.
Wow. They're getting up. Here we go.
Adam Schefter has the mini helmets that go on his mini head.
I helped you get that passing record.
You're mobile with the shot. Hit it with the Bronco one time.
Tim is bragging about his cat-like reflexes.
Looks pretty quick
yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Lightning
Lightning fast is what it, yeah.
Yes.
No. Okay, who's first? All in on what?
I'll start us off. I'm all in on the Dallas Cowboys. Glimpses of the big three again, and that Dallas D is going to be tough as they head out to L.A.
Give me the New Orleans Saints at home, this passing offense specifically. Drew Brees, how about this for a stat line at home this year? 21 touchdowns, 1 interception. The Eagles are riding high, and they are so resilient. But Drew Brees at home, very difficult to stop.
Don't forget, last game in his 30s, January 15th, turned 40.
Can't relate, but sounds
24
sweet.
years from now, that'll happen to you. Okay,
Listen,
go ahead.
Coach has the upset special. I'm all in on another upset special. I like the Indianapolis Colts going into Arrowhead and getting it done. It's their run game. We're going to talk so much about the quarterbacks. Both of them are great. But I think it's about them being able to run the football. Marlon Mack, nearly 150 yards last week. Now he gets to face a defense that's given up 5 yards per carry running defending the run.
All right, so stay with me here. I actually agree with you.
Gotta give.
Okay, I'm not saying the Chiefs will win this game. No, here you go. What I'm saying is that I'm all in on Patrick Mahomes being big enough for the moment. I don't have any trepidation at all that he will be rattled by this stage. What happens, I don't know, because I think the Colts match up pretty well against this Chiefs team, but I don't think you'll see Patrick Mahomes not do what he's done all season. If it's enough, we'll find out, but he'll be just fine.
Soon to be NFL MVP, Patrick Mahomes. Take that one.
Soon to be, and as Trey Wingo says, Hall of Famer Patrick Mahomes, all right? So we never get ahead of ourselves. It's really one of our strengths. The Jump is next. We will see you tomorrow.